As he's dashing along winter nights, nothing to do but read in front of a fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good secondhand bookshop that's just around the corner. Buy all my old novels there. And in pages of one particular novel, you discover some rather illicit material, for which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems. Don't know about admonish. Demolish might be rather close to the remark. Instead of hitting your husband, maybe you should just talk to him. Just communicate about the note in question. Oh boy, here we go again. And the carpet was disturbed by fire when a candle fell on the floor. Afraid to say it was, happened to blink of an eye, The whole place filled with smoke, couldn't see a bally thing. I was caught between the old stick's rage and the raging flames. You paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining. That's sympathy for you. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide the mess behind the screen for the time being. Over here, Mr. Gardev? Well, you have nothing more to hide now if you allow me. Oh my god. Had all my favorite old novels in the case. But as soon as fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh! Up in smoke. Gosh. The wife started hurling things at me. Oh my god. What a terrible sight it must have been. There was I, back up against the window under heavy enemy fire, and incendiary books coming 10 to the dozen. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride. The Lion's Pride? Ah yes, the notorious love of big cats coming through again. I assure you the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest. So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the fierce beast's rampage. Mr. Sholmes' deductions turned to be correct once again. It can only be described as great British wonder. I tell you, it's total carnage. Flames that were an old stick and full fettle. Out of interest, what time of day was that? Not sure I can remember. It's 2 days ago now. Let's see, around 5 o'clock, I think. So at exactly the same time, as the terrible incident was unfolding outside your window on the street below, what if the maid, threw the freaking knife out the window? And then it just hit the lady. Oh, really? I think that's what happened. Right? I mean... Mr. Sholmes? Yes, Mr. Naruhodo, what can I do for you? Well, I think we got to the bottom of Mr. Garda's situation now. But what does it have to do with Mr. Natsuma's circumstances? I can't help you there, I'm afraid. What? My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say so much from the outset. I worried that although I know the retired army man to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether a secret would prove to be irrelevant or not. I just knew you were going to say that. Ha 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 ha. Okay, an airplane is going by again. Now, Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only 2 categories, those relevant to the case and those not. That makes no sense to me. Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now. Sorry? Visiting hours to the prison will soon be over. Oh no, is that time already? If we're to accept Mr. Natsuma's case, we have official paperwork to attend to. So that's it, no more time to think. Perhaps he'd like to betake yourselves to be bidding us farewell now. I'll prepare a supper with Mr. Gardev. Oh yes, I'm so sorry. Thank you both very much for your time. Soseki-san will be waiting for us, and I'm going to have to give him an answer. Alright, let's move. It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison. Yes, I know, it's care. Oh, what's the matter? It looks like something's going on over there in front of Mr. Gardev's house. What the? Who? Oh no, do not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Who you call an old man around looking at any me? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt in your philosophy. Who is this Horatio fellow? What are you on about? Excuse me. What the? Who are you now? I'm sorry, it just looked as though there might be some problem here. I'm an associate here, Mr. Eunice Naruhodo is the lawyer, you see. Eh, a lawyer? What? If I could be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I study English law. Fine, I'll be on me way for now, but you mark my words. This ain't over yet. And get thee to a nunnery. Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you? I do hope you're not injured. Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle, thank you. What was that all about? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are of dreamt of in your philosophy. I'm not Horatio either. Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here in the garden residence? Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode. Mr. Gardev mentioned I had another lodger, didn't he? This was the man. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor? Ah, yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more what they are Polyness than my battle words ne'er could there be. Sorry, battle, did you say? Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume I spared long into the night. I see. I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least. So fair maiden, so good gentlemen, I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well. I didn't really understand it, but I think he's returned to his room. It seems he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsume, so can't really help us. With Soseki-san and that man as lodgers, the Gardev house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage. Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eager waiting our return. Let's hope we can get to prison before visiting hours are over. Oh, it's you. You're here. You came. I can't believe it came back. I'm so touched. We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mrs. Natsume. Oh no, think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never failing, Nipponese! Oh, now let's not get carried away. Oh, I quite agree. There is nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one of these native land. On the other hand, what? Oh, it is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least. It's you! The miserable rotten spy! Herlock Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? I have no intention of doing anything per se, save observing, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Well, having carted such curious reading material in that gloomful room, I'm having amassed a secret identity that eccentric pair. I decided to drop on my way home to see how her divisive friend is faring. Gloomful room? At least the accommodation here offers the window, my dear fellow. In that case, it is a superior option. Anyway, I must commend you on the taste of books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny. Ah, you! How dare you, Herlock Sholmes! Ugh. I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in the accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life must be damned! What are you thinking, Miss Naruhodo? He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings are cursed, I mean. And there's much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. What? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say. For the man's lodgings, and indeed, for tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? Mr. Natsume, what do you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh no, why? Why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it. Oh, I see. That's really agitated him. You don't mean the child really is cursed somehow? Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper, the Bailey? The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean? Please tell me. Summarize this secondly in 16 salient words. No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution, ever. Oh my goodness, can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly! Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper, but then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances. Mr. McGill did. What? What? I'm impressed with Sasato. You have an eye for detail. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us. Mr. Sholmes. Surely it can't be that having failed to have accused convicted, Lord Van Zieks killed the man himself? Oh no, he couldn't have Shirley? Ha 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 ha! Sorry? The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow. Oh, yes. Why, of course he is. Of course he is? Then why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. What on earth do you mean by that? Van Zieks is quite an exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. Ah, that's good. Seki-san looks like he's going to cry tears of joy. As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Right. Criminals and corrupt lawyers for that matter can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, and so on. By such underhand means, those who want to are able to sway the jury, which means that even in light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail. But it means the wrong verdict can be passed. As sad it is, for time to time, my dear madame, it's simply the reality of the situation, and that's alright. However, those indicted by Lord Van Zieks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Oh my. Although the adjudication can see them leave the courtroom into freedom, within months they all disappear. It is most striking. Disappear? But how? Ah, by all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever, or perhaps attacked by highwaymen. Oh, no. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo. I knew it. I'm a dead dodo, done for, doomed! When you said at Chris' lodgings before, you're referring to a room at Mr. Gardo's house, I assume? Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain, but I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself. That didn't take long then. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me all the time from dawn to dusk, so I shut myself away in a room, but even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away. You must have been very lonely. You haven't been away from home for such a long time. I've had to move a number of times, most recently to another room on BR Road a week ago now. Yes, why choose there? It seems a little inconvenient. The rent is cheap. I have so little money, it appeared to be stared away. Of course, that's why it was so affordable. The latter just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops! He could have tried to recover his mistake, but it was too late, so he told him. If he has something to say, then say it, but if not, don't mention it in the first place! Yes, well said. I wish I could say that to some people. But it was true. It was all just true. You mean, the room really is cursed then? Ever since moving in that windowless hellhole. My sleep is plagued with nightmares. Always awake feeling as though I've been being choked to death. And I'm waking as people are standing in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm a brand new killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really no one at all? To believe. Yes, to believe. Mr. Sholmes. Ah, me, Mr. Naruhodo, pray, what can I do for you? It's about the case on the SS Burial. Burial, if you recall. The Burial. Oh, that case. The one with the snake? Well, yes. At the time, I was a suspect, but he believed me and listened to my side of the story. And he helped us to investigate. I did I? Interesting. What I want to know is why. Why did you believe me? I see, yes. You mean... Because you are a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room? Well, if you like, yes. I'm a little surprised the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it. But I could have been lying. Sure, you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither really believing in you, nor in that which you were telling me. What? You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in. What? What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? I make up my own mind about what is to be believed and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can't hang as far as I'm concerned. But I could have betrayed your trust. Ha 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 ha. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse in my opinion. Meaning... whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he's right! He's right! Welcome student of Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Whether or not I could, believe myself. A demon's art is only as good as fate in its kind. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. To believe in yourself, huh? You're so right, cause well, my dear fellows, it's time we were leaving, I believe. Already? Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There's a restaurant near that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me? Oh dear, there's never enough time, is there? Mr. Natsume, if you like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! As I said, I only experienced the British courtroom for the first time yesterday, and although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What to believe in, the defendant, justice, or the truth, how to believe even. But I think I finally worked it out. I decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that I prove that in court. Welcome student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! I'll fight for your innocence to the bitter end with every weapon available to me. So I hope you prevent me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I like to trust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsume. It would be fair to say, Mrs. Naruhodo, that your mind was, in many ways, made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Mrs. Otto, yes? Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court? Absolutely. As you said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant. The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind, but it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me now too, so it's time. Time that I learned to believe in myself. Soseki-san has no one, he's all alone, so it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, what strengths I can do. To be continued. Alright guys, I think that'll be it. You know, this recording actually went on pretty long. So I think I'll just make this into like part 13, part 14, and part 15. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.